Yeah, sorry, because he disappeared and came back. Hey, good afternoon, good evening, good morning if you're on the other side of the world. This is Harry from Hotspur TV back with another preview show. So it's been 2 weeks since Newcastle. And I've got Harry Scarf with me. Harry, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm very good, thank you. It's nice to be back. Obviously, we'll forget about Newcastle, try and move on for that as quick as possible. But North London derby, we go again. Lots to improve on, but looking forward to get into it.
And TJ, I think you were on the Rival show, right? Earlier in the week.
Yeah. Oh
You're back
shit.
again.
Sorry. My language. Yeah. I'm good, man. I'm good, man. How you guys been? I was on the Rival show yesterday. Was that yesterday? Or the day before that? I've been good, man. I've been good.
Wednesday night,
Yeah,
isn't it? I think the rival show.
Yeah, I can't complain,
sure.
man. I'm just back speaking about Spurs like usual. A lot to say, man. A lot to say. We've got North London derby. And yeah, man. How you guys been? Have you guys been all good?
Yeah, it's been all good.
Thank you. Yeah.
So yeah, I thought we'd dissect Newcastle first because that was our last game. As usual on the show, we talk about the last game before we talk about preview for the next game. So I'll go to TJ first.
No.
If he's there, he's disappearing. I don't know what's going on with TJ. Okay, Harry, maybe you should go first. Your thoughts on the Newcastle game?
Wow. Now the dust has settled. But yeah, poor. Credit Newcastle. I thought were excellent on the day. We think we were tactically outclassed, and they were very good. Box to box, all round. Really, but the disappointing thing for me really is, okay, you make a mistake, you concede the first goal, but then 90 seconds later you can concede a second. That for me is just poor. It comes down to mentality. So I'm very disappointed. But even then at half time, it still gave us a chance to get back into it with the options we had on the bench, and the fact we often come back. Like Brighton was a disaster in terms of go 4-0 down, I think, inside that first half. But we come back, we get a couple of goals on another day, maybe we could have got a point. I thought it would be kind of like this, but we didn't. I think that's credit to Newcastle defensively, but also we just didn't offer enough. And the chances we got in the first half at 0-0, just weren't taken by senior players. So that was a shame to see, because it was a good. We didn't have enough of them, of course. We still had a couple of good opportunities that you would expect to go.
Chance.
Yeah, so exactly. But ultimately, if I'm being totally honest with you, we're sitting here.
I had to say it because it was.
It is. Yeah, we will get on to it. I like him, but
you know what he said Werner for? He said Werner was shit.
Yeah, it was a bad miss by Werner. But the sad thing is, we're sitting here talking about a 4-0 loss, and being honest, it should have been more than 4-0. The goal from Newcastle from a corner was coming. They finally got it with Fabian Schär. So very disappointed. Bad day at the office, but I think we have to. It's one of those you have to put quickly behind, and that's not kind of ignoring the bad stuff, but we just want to get on. There's still a little bit of the season to go. Focus on Arsenal on that 90 minutes, but there's a lot we need to improve on. We saw that.
And before I get my own thoughts, TJ, your thoughts on Newcastle?
A shit show, man. Let me be real in it. We were poor from minute 1 to minute 100 and whatever in it. It was absolutely rubbish. The way we lined up, the way we decided to press, it was absolutely poor. Off air, we were talking about how I had a conversation with a coach. Look, that game was a game for us to forget, because I believe we can perform
you say
better.
that, but our coach isn't learning from his mistakes.
And this is the problem that we're going to always face when we're talking about a non-experienced. Okay, let me before I say what I'm going to say. Respect is where respect is due. He's been very successful all over the gaff, and he's won things everywhere else. But the quality of where he's playing right now, and the quality where he's managing right now, that has to take into consideration. You might have been able to do it in the Scottish League. You might have been able to do it in the J League. You might have been able to do it in Australia. But generally speaking, the Prem is very difficult. It's and we say it's a top 6. There's about 8, 9, 10 teams that on their best days they could they could
Beat
honestly
yeah.
beat people. You know what I'm trying to say? And we see it like upsets all the time, you know. So in all hindsight, it was a bad day, a very, very bad day at the office. Big up Chinks, my brother. How you been, man?
We got
And I hope you're well, man. Hope you're well. I hope you're not you haven't hit your head. But listen, like, this is a game. Let's be honest with you. Instead of talking about Newcastle, he needs to redeem himself, innit? If pundits of what, like, let's just say it's a North London derby, and there's a lot for him to improve on, and I hope he can improve. But I don't even want to talk about Newcastle. That shit was depressing.
I just have a few words to say. That's why. I mean,
that shit was depressing, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
even up to like us going to even attack, I can only like handpick like what 5-6 attacks that were very successful against Newcastle. Man,
TJ,
it was dreadful, man.
Well,
it was dreadful, bro.
For me, I think the players underestimated the challenge of going to St. James's Park. I think Ange underestimated the challenge of going to St. James's Park, because I remember warning you guys on the Friday night saying this game is a very difficult match. I mean, we went there last season and lost 6-2, whatever it was, with a much worse side, people would argue, or whatever, with Stellini. Obviously got sacked the day after. But I think, to me, it comes across as Ange is showing respect to the opposition he plays in the Premier League. I'm sorry. That's how it comes across with his team selections. And a caveat to this, I'll go back to the midfield three that I would have picked of Højbjerg, Bentancur and Sarr. And I know you might think that's very defensive, but those are the three I would have gone with away to Newcastle. And those are the three I'll go with in the North London derby as well. But that's for a different discussion later on. But I just don't think he respects the opposition enough. I don't think
Quick question. Hold on 1 minute. Before you carry on, I just want to ask you this question. Do you think it was the players, or do you think it's Ange's fault?
It's Ange's fault.
What you was, 110%. Can we all agree on that? Yeah. Harry, can we agree that it was Ange's fault?
Overall in the game, as I said, I want to give credit to Newcastle. But I think from a Spurs point of view,
no, that's not the question.
Yeah, well, hang on. We were tactically outclassed. Andrew's tactically outclassed against Newcastle.
So it's Ange's fault.
But the players, but listen, hang on. That 11 on the pitch is still stronger than Newcastle's.
No, it's not.
And it is, without a doubt. Hang on. Let's just be very clear. We're talking about a depleted Newcastle side. Okay, Ange got it wrong for me. I made that very clear. But we still should be winning that game. So it's on the players, it's on Ange.
Look, Harry, I'd argue their front three, in my opinion, is way better than ours.
Front three, absolutely. But you look at their defence. That isn't really even a Premier League defence we're talking about.
Also, I agree with you in that sense. I agree in that sense, but then that's down to Ange, because Ange plays a ridiculously high line, which leads to Van der Ven.
And I sat on this preview show, didn't I, and said that I would ditch the inverted fullbacks. Absolutely, he got it wrong. Also, the players didn't deliver. I don't know. He's sideways as well for me.
I know. That's the same. That's what I can see. TJ, you're right. Okay.
Yo, I'm good, man. Listen, some girl called, man, innit? You know, they want me. I listen. I have to go on Do Not Disturb. Whenever I do shows, I forget to do it, innit? Yeah, sorry. Listen, sorry. I just wanted him to say it's Ange's fault.
Yeah, it was Ange and the players. Yeah, both of them.
Cool. Now carry on with what you're saying, because you were making a good point. So because I'm gonna bounce off of after you finish what you're gonna say, I'm gonna carry on adding what I'm intending to say.
So like, what I'm saying is, I don't think he respects the opposition. I don't think he understands the significance of like the teams he's going away to, the teams he's playing against in the top six, the teams like the Newcastles, the Brightons. Obviously, so we lost to Brighton 4-0, whatever it was. We lost to Fulham as well. That's what I predicted again. It would be like another Fulham game. But I think what worries me the most with the Newcastle game is that everyone was pointing Van der Ven as being like to blame for the goals. And yes, you could argue, yes, he kind of was. But if you're leaving him one-on-one with Isak 90% of the game, then eventually he's going to give it up, because this is just defenders make mistakes. It's just part of the game. I'm not saying he should be making mistakes, but with considering Van der Ven's, that's his only bad performance I can think of the whole season, right? I'm saying it just coincided with us playing Newcastle. But it's like if you leave him 1-on-1 with someone like Isak, I don't know what you're expecting to happen. Romero again, I think he was poor, but you're asking.
Sorry, guys. Literally, I'm gonna come back in it, but this girl is just annoying me. Hold on, I'm just gonna tell her to. I'm gonna break up with her right now in it, so I can jump into this thing. Hold on, 1 minute. I'm coming back. Sorry. Hold on.
I had a feeling to do with some girl. Anyway, but so I'll like for me, in my opinion, like you could say, oh, it's just the players, which is. I think it's a bit of a stupid thing to say.
Yeah, do you know what, Has? It all comes back to taking responsibility from the managers to the players because, as I said, I think Ange got it wrong. And obviously that is the root cause, if you like, in terms of manager sets you up the wrong way, you're set up to fail. But also, if you're the players, James Maddison, you're experienced players, you step up to the table. In that first half, we should... Yeah, the opportunity was there when Newcastle won at their best. Very even game between two teams. You have to take one of those chances, and maybe it's a different game. But we capitulated as the game went on, and that just isn't acceptable at any level for any club by that margin. It's not far off last year, except we've got a better team and probably in a better place as a club. But the game itself isn't that far off, to be honest with you, in terms of the performance was very similar. From Newcastle, it was identical, both very good. The only difference is this was the depleted Newcastle squad this time. That's the worrying thing. The team last year was even stronger. As bad as it was, it makes a little bit more sense. So Spurs' point of view is poor, but I don't want the players to be dwelling on this because that will affect confidence, etc. We have to go, look, terrible, we're sorry, we move on. Let's put it right, North London derby. And it sounds crazy, but I'll give us a chance to do that because you just don't know in 90 minutes in football, but in a derby as well, at home, if we could be the 12th man, anything is possible. We know that they're probably in a better place than us right now. They're deeper in their project, but in 90 minutes, you just don't know what can happen.
I just want to come off from what you said earlier. You're saying about how we conceded the first goal and then 90 seconds, what was it? How many seconds later?
Yeah, inexcusable. 90, inexcusable.
So what I'm saying is, a lot of coach, at least from I know when I was a kid, right? And I know and when you got coached by like whatever when you were younger, even at school or in just but they used to tell us when you concede a goal, the first thing you should do is not drop back. That's probably not the right word.
Steady the ship, stability,
keep your shape, basically. Yeah. And the problem with Spurs is it's almost like he's telling them, "Oh, it's fine, don't worry, carry on."
For that second goal, it was poor from Vicario, it was poor from Porro. I mean, as you said, overall, Van der Ven, very poor, 3 mistakes. His worst game, but overall, he's been very good and saved us so many points this year. But why was he put in that position, as you say, 1-on-1? I mean, I back Van der Ven 1-on-1, but he should be left in that position, really. There's one striker and we have 2 centre-backs. Where was Romero? That back wall was really disjointed.
In that team, there's no real leader. And what I'm saying by that is that, I remember back in the day, when teams would concede a goal, you'd have one of the players screaming at them, telling them to calm down. Just calm down and make sure you don't lose the ball in the next 5 minutes. Because obviously, the old saying, you're most vulnerable when you score or when you concede, to concede another. That's what the saying is. Because what it is...
Yeah, and I take what you say, my leader. I take that on board and I agree. And not many people like it. But Højbjerg, for me, offers a bit of stability. It offers that closest to a leader for me. So North London derby, I don't dissect, getting the team news or anything like that. Yeah, but he would, for me, definitely be in there because ultimately we're conceding too many goals. So someone needs to protect the defence and offer that little bit of experience, a little bit that experienced head, and ultimately keep the ball out the back of our net. And I think Højbjerg does give you that. And that captain, that role model, if you like, Højbjerg, whatever you think of him, he's a top athlete with the right mentality, the right attitude, and someone we need in the dressing room. So he'd be in my lineup, to be honest with you.
I mean, he's in my one as well. So.
Yeah.
So before TJ comes back, because this is kind of like a small topic, Rich and Porro back in training. Harry, do you expect either or both of them to start on Sunday?
I won't say what I would do because we get onto team news later. But for me, they're both very absolutely.
Oh, sorry. Was you saying?
No, go on.
You talking to me? Oh no! I thought you were saying, "Are you happy you're back?" Nah, man. I just had to break up with this girl, innit, man. She's moving a bit nuts, innit? Yeah, man. She's moving a bit nuts, innit? Like she listen, I told her, don't call me, innit, yeah? And she was like, what? You cheating on me? And I said to her, innit, yeah, if I was cheating on you, you wouldn't even be hearing from me. And then she was like, well, you're a player, you talk to bare things. And I was like to her, it's not even about bare things. Listen, I'm busy. Then she said, what you doing? I was like, listen, I'm busy. You don't need to know what I'm doing. And then she asked me, are you serious? I said, listen, bruv, we're done. And I ended the call and I blocked her number. But sorry, enough about me in it, yeah? I don't usually do the
okay.
Listen, I'm a lovely guy in it, yeah? I'm a lovely guy in it, but I don't do this long crazy nonsense, innit? It's either you're with me or you're not with me, innit? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna die for you. I'm not Romeo. Like, let me be honest with you. I'm not Romeo.
Yeah.
I'm from the hood, bro. Like, let me be real, like, like, come on, man. But cool, back to football, innit? Sorry, man. Sorry, you, man.
All right, we saw Break Up live on Spurs Kings TV on a Friday night. So
100%, man. Got me pissed off.
Yeah.
But cool. Can I go back onto the Newcastle team? Yeah. Sorry, guys, innit? You know, look, for me, innit? Yeah, it comes down to experience, innit? Clearly, for me, we're still going through the motions and we're still learning how to play Ange's way. But my concern is we're not learning from these defeats. And for me, we're getting peppered, bruv. It's like all of our games. Have you realized how many shots we've conceded? How many goals you get where I'm coming from? Like his style is a bit dodgy, bro. So when you look at it from that perspective, and don't get me wrong, I'm not no tactician, so I'm not going to tell you that I know everything, because I generally don't. I just about know how to tie up my shoelaces, let alone walk straight. Do you get where I'm coming from? So listen, but my opinion, I see the problems.
Yeah.
If you're conceding too many shots, and if you're constantly,
TJ, it's not actually the amount of shots conceded. We're actually quite low on that. It's the quality of the chances we're giving away.
Man, it's still the shots, man.
That's the quality. Listen, TJ's the quality.
Oh, quality. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wouldn't you say? Okay, cool. That spins another question.
Yeah.
Quality of shots. If you have a shot at our goalkeeper, isn't that a chance?
Yeah. No, what I'm saying, TJ, if you look at the Newcastle goals, right? The Isak goals. You're basically like he left. Honestly, Ange left Van der Ven stranded that game. Literally, like they left the red to get cooked. Literally by Isak.
1000%. But then, just to give you another insight, do you think it's a case of we just don't have a good back line?
No, on paper, our back line's good.
Can I answer that?
On paper, it's good, but what we're seeing in real life, it's not.
Because TJ, the two fullbacks don't really exist because they're going inverted. Yeah.
But see, this is my problem. Yeah. But you're saying that the style is what's causing the problem.
It is.
Now, my point is, if you have world-class players and you have better players in that position, would we still be suffering?
We'll still be suffering. TJ.
If you say no, are you saying no or are you saying yes?
No, we'll still be suffering. You could sign Messi.
Still be suffering.
TJ.
So then the problem is perfect. You said what I said.
Yeah.
The problem is Ange.
Yeah.
That's what he just said.
Can I chip
go for
in?
it, Harry.
Just say, in terms of being realistic here, and I don't want to kind of like, I don't know, sound entitled or anything like that, but our defense, I think, is very solid in terms of personnel in the fullbacks, in the centre backs as well. I think we're very lucky with the defense we have. However, Has makes a very, very key point. I mean, it doesn't happen a lot, so take it while you can. In terms of the fullbacks, absolutely. Pretty much non-existent when it comes to defensively because they're in midfield. And do you know what? I'm all for Ange's tactics and that, but it drives me bonkers when you see the likes of Maddison getting so frustrated because he's got no space. He's having to divert round Porro, divert round a doggy. And yet, look at that Wolves 2-1 defeat. I was there. Both goals come from fullbacks being right high up the pitch. They just get in the way. They drive me bonkers. So, if we don't ditch them against Arsenal, I'm worried. Can you imagine Saka versus Emerson 1-on-1? We don't want to be seeing this. But no, good, but we don't have a 6 that protects the defense.
But
That's
even
why.
then, Harry, if you look at the way our 6 plays in Basuma, and maybe he's a bad example. Maybe he's just using him for now. I don't know. Like I can't say. But because we don't know what kind of plays he's going to want in the summer. I know a 6 has been mooted, but I don't know what kind of 6 he wants. Right?
Paulinho would for me be perfect. Very solid defensive head, but very creative.
See, the thing with Paulinho, Harry, from what I'm saying, I'm not saying he's good, by the way. I'm just talking about the types of players. Basuma's more of like a progressive. I use the word progressive.
Yes, a progressive 6. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Paulinho to me comes across more like a battling 6, more like a Højbjerg mold, more than a Basuma mold, which is not a bad thing. But then are you telling me that
this is an upgrade on Basuma?
Here's an upgrade. But what I'm saying is Ange going to want Paulinho to sit with the 2 when the rest
That's
go
why Ange used to be flexible. It's not Scotland. It's not Japan.
Joins the attack, Harry. I've never seen the guy. He was taking shots the other day. I can't remember what game it was. Luton or something. He was taking shots. I'm like, but hold on. We were 2 at the back. What happens if they break? And obviously they scored that goal with Townsend cross. But like, what I'm saying is that it's all well and good buying the 6. But if he's going to tell Paulinho to suddenly go from where he was playing at Fulham, where he was playing as like the sitter, to try join the attack and be this, I don't know where he's playing, and be the sitter at the same time, which is pretty impossible. Then, because I don't know if you've heard, so Højbjerg's really good friends with Rodri at City.
Yes, I read that recently.
He told Rodri you would struggle playing in this system. And Rodri's the best DM arguably in the world, according to most people, 99% of people I speak to at least.
I don't think he could play this role. I really don't.
So it's like, unless Ange, to counteract this problem, because we clearly have a problem, is he tells the 6 to actually drop. I'm talking about his overall tactics, by the way, not like next game. Does he tell the 6 to suddenly play in the, like John Stones does at City, where he plays in the midfield, but he sometimes drops? Does he tell him to do that? Is that going to solve our problems? It'd probably help, because then if you look at the Newcastle game,
we just need.
Maybe
you know what it is,
branded with like Isak.
You know what it is, isn't it? Yeah, we just need a direction, because generally speaking, we don't have a direction. I feel like Ange is doing too much. Personally, I've come to the conclusion he's doing too much. His style is too much. The players are not capable of doing it. So he's doing too much. Go back to Route 1 football. Defense, do defending. Midfield, do midfielding. Attack, do attacking. Am I not wrong to say that, though?
Yeah. No. But TJ, I'll give you an example, right? You look at Poch when he was at Spurs, right? If he had this 11, he would probably be telling Dogi and Porro to play like as actual defenders. If you remember how he used Rose and
Yeah.
Ange doesn't go, let's invert. And then it's left 2 players at the back.
Your next topic was Richie and Porro back. But that's not going to do nothing, man.
All right, okay, you answered my question already.
That's not going to do nothing, bro.
I disagree, but
that's not going to do nothing. Let's be honest with you. I'm more likely to go bold than for us to win against Arsenal. I've already said it straight. Look, we're not beating Arsenal. There's no chance of us beating Arsenal. And all you Spurs fans that think, it's a North London derby, and it's at our house, we die for these moments. Come on, brother. Wake up and look outside. Smell the coffee. When you see Arsenal, what Arsenal's on, and you see what Tottenham's on, brother, come on. We are going to get absolutely pammed. Especially if we carry on playing how we're playing. Carry on forcing this high line. Because let's be honest with you, Arsenal thrives in pressing high. Think about it. Their whole build up. Any Arsenal fans that are in the chat, just correct me if I'm right or wrong in it. Their whole build up is of them pressing high. Think about it. So look, I'm gonna say it how it is, innit? We can have Richarlison, we could have Porro, we could have Kyle Walker, we could have Danny Rose, we could have Harry Kane. Until this fucking high line gets dropped a couple of yards, brother, we're gonna still be in the same spot. We're gonna get pammed, bro. We're
Do you
gonna
think
get put
Andrew
in the
changed
bends,
it
bro.
today?
He has to, bro. We need to go free at the back.
Oh, did you see my predicted lineup in the Tottenham away chat?
No, I haven't.
The lineup I wanted
I,
to put out. Oh, okay.
I
I'll show you
haven't. But we're
yeah.
playing free. We have to play free at the back if we want a chance to even draw or even win. I'm sorry, you might think I'm negative, and you might think I'm
TJ,
one
I'm
of them
agreeing with
donkey
you.
fans, innit?
If you saw my
I
team,
know a lot of people. You know, a lot of people realize I think I'm a negative fan and I'm a donkey fan, but generally speaking, bro, it's one of them ones where you have to actually smell the coffee beans and see it for how it is. Arsenal's thriving. When have I ever, listen, all the time we've been streaming, have I ever said, yo, bro, Arsenal's gonna beat us?
No.
I've never said that in my life, bro. Even when I was watching Nuno do his thing. Bro, listen, Ange should really wake up. I hope we go defensive. Arsenal struggle against teams that go defensive.
No blocks, yeah.
Low blocks. The reason being, I believe this is my belief in it. Again, anybody else can. Free at the back, 1 year on from Conte is crazy. Yeah, bro, listen, bro. You're talking about a team that is peppering everybody, bro.
They'll probably play the best football in the league this season. Arsenal.
They have been playing. They're the best team in the league.
Yeah.
They're the best team. Just say it how it is. Take off the Spurs pants, take off the Spurs hat, and smell the coffee beans, bro. Listen, bro. Listen. You know comments. Listen. I'm not coming at you, but I'm saying it factual. If you can come and say Arsenal's not better than Tottenham, you're just smoke.
I'm just saying they're not better than Man City, but anyway, that's different. Yeah.
They are definitely gonna pam us, bro. We're gonna get put in a spliff. And it's sad for me to say that, though.
Big up, Brian Daigle. You're right. Hope you're okay, mate.
Big up, my guy. Big up. Look, let me calm it down and let me go back one gear in it. Shift back down to park in it. The only way we could get a chance in it of like even winning or even drawing is if we get it's one of them floater games, them basketball games, up and down the pitch. But even having up and down the pitch, our striker force hasn't been really active. They've been shooting blanks.
I wouldn't play Werner on Sunday, personally.
Man, listen, you know what? We have to play Werner and Johnson. They're the only ones that are going to kill, have the pace to actually.
Well, my team's different from yours, so anyway. But Harry,
I think Werner.
Yeah.
Personally, I think Werner is going to be a vital role because if you think about how Arsenal line up, I think he could get in behind. That pace is important.
But he will still. Problem is, TJ, he could get in behind, but is he going to score?
Brother, I don't know what will make this guy shoot straight, bro. At least shoot it at the goalkeeper. I want to start seeing shots at the goalkeeper.
Harry, do you think he's going to change it at all? Before we go into the lineup, my lineup.
I don't expect any change in terms of when it comes to inverted fullbacks or formation. Would I change it? I'd keep the formation the same in terms of a back three would mean we'd have Davies or Emerson playing even higher up, which is not quite what we want. But in terms of TJ, when a dog is fit, back three, absolutely. But long term, I think that's a good shout. Yeah, we'll get to that. Don't worry. Yeah. But no, I would change things. As I said coming into Newcastle game, I'd ditch inverted fullbacks. I think we'll be cooked. I said that I think there'd be one-on-ones with Isak. It happened and they scored. So I think we're all kind of in agreement that some things do need to change. Will they change? I don't think so. And I love Ange Postecoglou, and I think he's great and what he's achieved so far in this first year. However, you have to be flexible. You can't play the same way Arsenal as you do Maidstone United. We know that. You have to set up. I'm not saying you have to do a lot of tactics or go over the top like Mourinho or maybe even Conte did, but you've got to, think about the opponent sometimes. Look at strengths and weaknesses and go, what can we do to stop that? Look at Newcastle and go, Gordon, Barnes, very good players, in form. What can we do? Drop fullbacks deeper and stop that. I don't think Andrew will change it. Should he? Absolutely. But I don't think it will happen.
Okay, because I'm with you anyway now. I'll leave my lineup until last. Harry, what's your lineup?
I'll talk you through it 1 to 11. So I'd have Vicario in goal. I'd have Porro right back, Romero and Van der Ven as a centre backs. I'd have Davis left back and ditch the inverted full backs. As Davis, I think, could be really solid left back, just not inverted in the system. Midfield 3, Højbjerg for me has to be that DM offering protection to defence. It's his kind of game, big game. Sideways again. And then we go into midfield. Bentancur, a big fan of him, really good on the ball retention, very good, and could be a key to unlocking any holes in the Arsenal defence. Maddison hasn't been great recently, but a big game player who I think should step up to the occasion. And with Højbjerg in there, Maddison can progress.
4-3-3, sorry, yeah.
4-3-3. And then front three, I'm a fan of Johnson, I'm a fan of Werner, but I put them both on the bench as players to bring on because I think that they can have the greatest. I think this games can be won from the bench. Kulusevski may come as a surprise to some people, will be on the right. His ball retention is fantastic in terms of, I looked at this against Newcastle. It's not the main reason we lost. Hold up the ball where we got in good positions. Kulusevski brings that. And if Richarlison's fit, he'd be straight in that team as well. Holds the ball up, physical presence to aim for, which we just don't have at the moment. We get in good positions. It's Werner in the box all the time. And I love Werner, but we want him out on the wing, not there. Whereas Richarlison's there, scores a lot of headers, and it will be this kind of game. And then on the left, just about is Son with Werner. And Johnson to come on. I know Son hasn't been great recently, but very clinical. If you ask Arsenal fans who they'd be most worried about, I think they tell you Son in terms of he's the closest to Harry Kane to the clinical.
Hasn't he? He's got a history score against him, I think, as well.
Yeah, he has. He's just very clinical. He takes his chances, even when he hasn't been at his best. So that would be my team.
Did he get 2 early in the season, right? At the Emirates, I think. Was it 2? He got at least 1.
Maddison got an assist, didn't he? I know that. I think he got
2, didn't he? I think early in the season.
I was going to say 1, but you could be right. You could well be right.
It was 2-2, yeah. So my 11 is similar to yours, but it's different. I'm going with a different formation. I'm going 3-5-2. So Vicario in goal, the back three of Dragusin, Romero, and Van der Ven. And there's a reason I've chosen these sorts of players, by the way. I'm going Porro right wing back. Porro right wing back. And you're going to laugh at this. I'm putting Kulusevski left wing back. Yeah. And then I'm playing my midfield three, though, is Bentancur, Sarr, and Højbjerg. Yeah. And I'll tell you my tactics in a moment. And I'm playing Son and Richarlison as a 2 up front. And the reason I'm doing this is I'll use the first 60 minutes. I'd use Sarr as a runner for 60 minutes to hound them. Yeah. And then what I'll do, I'll take off Sarr and maybe like Bentancur later on in the game, bring on the Celso and Maddison. And I'd use Son and Werner later on in the game as well. I have to change formation.
Wait, wasn't the complaint last year? Sorry, guys, I'm back in it. Sorry, man. Man just broke up with my girl in it, yeah? Bro, she called me on some Connect 4 number, innit? You know? Sorry. Yeah, she called me on some Connect 4 number, bro. All right, so wasn't the complaint last year that it was too defensive and won't take... Bro, listen, 110% it was too defensive, but this is too attacking. We haven't got the mediocre, bro. It's like hot and cold. We're not...
warm
in the mouth. You know the ones where you cook like a what do you call it? A sunny side up on it, and you ask the lady not too runny but not too hard, brother. It's either runny or it's not. I agree. That was the biggest complaint. Yeah, and I totally agree with what you're saying. Sorry, I'm just catching up on what the comments said, innit? Because I was gone for a bit. Højbjerg or Basuma? Højbjerg for me.
Agree.
Well, this game, innit? Højbjerg for me. Angie didn't change nothing. Fan of Pep, cool. Facts, Brian, that's true. Cool. Kulusevski, Richard, cool. Carry on what you were saying, bro. Sorry, man.
So my lineup, right? I was going to say it after you, but you just appeared in it. I'm playing 3-5-2. I'm going Vicario, Dragusin, Romero, Van der Ven, Porro, right wing back, Kulusevski, left wing back. For all my reasons. And then Bentancur, Sarr, and Højbjerg.
Bro, sorry, I'm so sorry, man. I'm so sorry.
What the fuck?
He'll be back, guys, soon. It's quite a big thing to go through on a stream.
She doesn't seem to leave him alone on the 7 o'clock on a Friday night.
Keep going.
Yeah, and then obviously Richarlison's on up front. And the reason I'm going with this 11 and putting Richarlison, Kulusevski left wing back is because he's played wing back before. I think on the left side, there's more chance for him crossing the ball. And also,
can I just say, big up to Top Spur in the chat who makes a good point. I agree with your lineup, but the only concern is Kulusevski versus Saka. How's that going to pan out?
No, my thinking, I think, of playing like a 3-5-2 though is that you have Van der Ven and Kulusevski doubling up on Saka on one side, and you have Dragusin and Porro doubling up on whoever, Trossard, whoever on the other side. And the reason I'm playing Kulusevski is that you can always in the game change it, move Kulusevski into the midfield, push Sarr further up, or alternatively the other way around, and you could push Van der Ven and make a back four with Porro. So that's why I'm picking that 11. So there's room for like change, like in-game changes with the 11 I'm picked. I know there's no Maddison, there's no Werner, there's no Johnson, and there's no Lo Celso. I know some people were saying put Lo Celso in, but I'd use them later in the game. So if it hits 60 minutes, it's still 0-0. By that point, Sarr's like probably run out of steam because I told you I want to use him as like a presser of the three. And then I'd take him off of Maddison. I may bring on like Werner or Johnson for like Richarlison or something, and also maybe change the formation depending on how it's going. And like I said, Johnson and Werner, I agree with that. Bring them off the bench this game because we need players that can hold the ball up. Like Kulusevski, I think has to start on Sunday in whatever lineup because at least he can hold the ball up for a bit. Yeah.
Sorry about that, man. Listen, man. I shouldn't have broke up with her. I should have just said, "Yo." I should have just said I'm at a funeral or something, innit? You know what I'm saying, innit? I shouldn't have broken up with her, man. Okay, cool. Sorry, man. Listen, have you done your lineup, Harry?
Yeah. I've done mine as well.
Yeah.
So you can go there, yeah.
Cool. My thing in it is three at the back, innit? I'm going defensive, ultra defensive, innit? Park the stadium. In fact, park the whole of North London. Yeah. Literally, brother. I'm going what? Van der Ven, Dragusin, and obviously Romero. Are you saying Pedro Porro's fit?
He's back. Doggy's out though.
So Pedro Porridge at right back. Yeah. And that's sick, innit? Yeah. And listen, this is gonna be a weird one, innit? I'm actually going with Papa Sarr as left back, bro.
Oh,
and you're going to be thinking why. You're going to be thinking why.
My lineup, TJ, I put Kulusevski left wing back. That was I want to put him.
You having a laugh?
I think he's good defensively, and I think he's fast as well, and I think he could do the inverted role. Am I not wrong for that?
But I think kind of five. Sure, you're not going to invert the fullbacks again, are you?
Trust me, I feel this brother. This Ange does the inverted fullback whenever he needs, isn't it? That's his only go-to trick, isn't it? Cool. And then midfield is quite simple. Maddison.
Wow.
What is it called? What's his name? Bentancur, Højbjerg.
Yeah.
Maddison, Bentancur, Højbjerg.
Yeah.
I'm losing count. And then I've got two more players. Yeah. Son and Werner. Bro, that's my thing, isn't it? It might sound they're dodgy. That. Sorry?
Werner and Son up front.
Sorry?
Werner and Son up front.
Yeah, exactly like that. Werner and Son up front.
The only difference information in yours is I'm playing Kulusevski left wing back. I'm playing Richarlison.
Wait, who would you put at left back? Kulusevski?
Yeah, I'm putting Kulusevski there.
Nah, I have to go.
You just don't invert the fullbacks. You put Davis there. He's a really reliable.
Nah, man. Against North London Derby, bro. Yeah. North London Derby is dubious, bro. You need the best of the best.
I think defensively, he's one of the better of the defence in terms of we're talking all-round defensive capabilities, experience.
But then he'll get run down.
He's never lost in North London Derby. He's played in as well.
He'll get run down by Saka, bro. What are you talking about?
I fancy Davis. I fancy Davis
against Saka if he doesn't. But you don't even. You know the thing you with it, yeah. You don't even rate the Arsenal team. You say most of our players are better than. You said. Listen, let me correct you. You said Werner is better than Martinelli.
Left back. I'd rather play left back.
You said Werner is better than Martinelli. That's one thing that I would. And after you said that
as well, bro, what the hell?
Exactly. After you said that, man, it went. Your opinion about Arsenal went out the window because you got your.
When you said Emerson in midfield, now you said Sarr at left back. That's toppled it.
We were trying to. Kulusevski left wing back.
Don't defend it. Do not defend Sarr. Even you can't defend that. You know it as well. You can't defend that.
Papa Sarr, he's good at running, bro.
That's what you do.
He's good at running.
That's what you do on Xbox Career Mode or Football Manager when you won the league or you got promoted. You tinker with things and play around.
No, you know what? I think Papa Sarr is underrated, and I think his energy is what we need. And it's either going to be him getting missed out in the midfield or him playing as a left back. Innit? For me, I could Kulusevski will get run down though. As him as a left back, I think he's too slow though.
When you play 5 OTJs, the what my thing is Van de Ven doubles up with him on Saka.
Nah, man, he'll get run down though. He got run through. I would have rather you say put Werner as left back than Kulusevski.
I'm like, Werner will do nothing.
Werner as left back would have made more sense, didn't it? But
I worry about him is that he's just. I don't think he has the strength for this game. I don't think he has the bottle for it.
I agree with you. Listen, I think. Look, see, there's definitely an understanding of me and Haz in it because we've watched football long. You're saying because we're putting other players. Do you think
no experience?
No, you're not understanding why I've put him left back though.
No, I see
why you're
saying it because of his pace.
Exactly. I think the pace is important. I think the pace is important, especially if Saka's on that side. I think the pace will be important. I think Davis,
just in my opinion, because he's played wing back before.
I agree with that, but then wouldn't you then say we could? I think he's going to get run down, though. I think he's going to get run down. We need someone to be able to match Saka's pace. And for me, or you could just do what everybody does and goes Werner, Emerson Royale. He's available. But then if we're going to play Emerson Royale.
Sarr at left back. Come on, it can't just be me.
Brother, there's a reason why I'm saying that. You're talking about a team that's going to be attacking that side most of the time. That's the strongest build-up play.
Offensively.
No, but you're not understanding. You're not understanding how the other team builds up. You're just talking from a perspective of the player. You're not talking about analysing the actual game. I've given my reason why, because Saka's on that side and Arsenal 99% of the time asks any. Wait, hold on. Ask any Arsenal fan how do they build up, and what are they going to say? It's down the right side.
Through Saka, innit? Most of the
exactly. So when you don't have your best players in the spot. We're talking about someone that's fast. I'm trying to counteract the fast.
It's all about pace. It's about experience, knowing your role.
Davis, no kind of experience will beat the pace, man. You're the most experienced player. Look, okay, cool. I'll give you a good example. What happened to Chelsea against Arsenal? Hold on, wait. What happened to Chelsea against Arsenal? I'm throwing you under the bus here because I want to tackle your tactical analyzation.
Chelsea in a bad place. You didn't take the chances. They lost 5-0.
Exactly, but what? They had experienced players at the back, right? And what was the scoreline?
They didn't play Cole Palmer at left back, did they?
No, but who did they have at the back? What was their back line?
Chelsea's back line.
What was Chelsea's back line? Thiago Silva was there, right?
I think it was a revising, but I knew that Silva was in there. I think Disasi was in there. I know Gusto was out.
And when you're talking about experience, Thiago Silva is an experienced player, but that didn't hold him holding 6 in the back of the net, is it? It doesn't matter about experience, and you're talking about Ben Davis, bro. Come on, man.
We agree to disagree. I think that this is
the reason why I'm going with Papa Sarr, and you know what, Kudos is a good shout, but I think his pace will done him though. Will done him. The only other person I would say could potentially move there is Dragusin, but then that means you're going to have to play Emerson Royale at the back. So Emerson Royale be one of the third.
So at least he's left-footed as well. So
that makes sense. That makes total sense.
Yeah.
No. What you're saying that makes total sense then, because
sorry to interrupt. I have to jump. I'm on another show.
In a bit, bro.
7:55.
What's your score?
So do you need
quickly then?
2-1 Spurs. I back my team. I think in 90. No, it's dead serious. I think the game could be won for them.
Oh, man, honestly, man, I don't.
No, we know that Arsenal are a different level to us. We know the top three are a different level, but 90 minutes, I'll be behind my team. I'm going absolutely buzzing.
I'm going as well, but I think we're going to win.
Yeah, no, I'm feeling confident. Bring it on.
Why not
Spurs.
Mickey left back and Dragusin centre back in a 4? The reason why we're going 3, he has lost the plot, bro. On a serious note, Harry Scarf in it. I love him in it, but that's a young fan right there, bro. Like he hasn't experienced football for what it is in it. So bless him in it. Big up Harry Scarf, happy feet Harry in it. But the reason why I think we're me and Haz are going 3 at the back in it. I believe that we're going to obviously be under so much pressure the way Arsenal actually builds up. And they honestly, what they've done this season, props to them. Listen, as a Tottenham fan, you're not going to see some biased views, because I'm pretty I say it how it is, innit? So if I see my team playing rubbish, I'm going to say how it is. And Arsenal have been brilliant. Big up them.
You know what I'm going to say? Yeah,
I
can't believe I'm saying it. I'm praising Arteta because of what he did away to City.
Yeah, Arteta's done well.
Sorry, we need to be scared of Havertz on Sunday.
Havertz has been amazing. But people like Happy Feet Harry is going to still say Werner's better than Havertz. Werner's better than Trossard. Listen, their view, innit? They're the minority fans, innit? They're the deluded ones. I'm gonna call it straight. If you guys watch us on a week-to-week basis, you already know I call him deluded.
Yeah.
I call it. I don't say it, but you know, bruv, anything that says it, okay. But it goes in one ear, out the other. Yeah,
what are you smoking, bro? That's what you say. What are you smoking?
Brother, it is what is smoking, bro. When he said, listen, this is how I knew this show wouldn't have been serious. I'm not gonna lie to you. I planned in advance. When he said to me, Werner is better than Trossard, didn't it? I packed my bags up and I said, listen, we can't talk to him about Arsenal because he's not going to actually speak about Arsenal logically. He's going to speak about it in love for Spurs. But when you're talking and analysing about different teams, you have to take your Spurs pants off and you have to take your Spurs hat off and you have to give them props to where props is due. Now, I get playing 4 at the back, but I think we're going to get run down. What do you think about 4 at the back, though?
Nah, it's a recipe for disaster.
It is 100%, bro.
But you know,
let me come on next time. Another young fan, crazy signing off. Good night. AIDS, you're signing off. Good night, bro. I think he said he's signing off. Yeah, but what do you think? What do you think innit, about playing 4 at the back? Innit? I think that's too risky.
We've got another guest coming on as well. Give me a second. Hold on.
Oh, okay, cool. Who's coming on?
I want to keep it a surprise anyway. But
okay, Brian Daigle.
Yeah.
I knew it. Yeah, no. For me, innit, yeah, it's one of them ones where. Oh, hold on, brother, man. What is this girl, man? Stressing me out. Cool. Sorry about that. Yeah. No. Look, for me, I think 4 at the back is too risky.
No.
4 at the back is too risky.
Poch tried the whole attacking thing at the Emirates as well, and he got
pammed. He got pammed, bro.
Yeah.
Look, I agree with what you're saying about Kulusevski. That's why I decided to go. I moved with Papa Sarr, but. Ultimately, whoever we put there, he's going to get pammed because let's be honest here now. He's going to either go with the obvious. He's going to go with Ben Davies, and maybe he might go with Emerson Royale. Who knows? Do you think Emerson Royale could do a job?
We all know what he's going to do. He's going to put Davies there.
He's going to get pummeled, isn't it?
He's going to get pummeled.
Yeah.
The problem is, TJ, is I wouldn't mind Davies playing there, right? But the problem is he'll make him invert, and then rather than tell Davies to sit.
Exactly. That's why I need Papa Sarr, bruv. I need Papa Sarr. Yeah. Look, do you understand my logic while I'm saying Papa Sarr?
Yeah.
At least if he inverts, and we've seen.
I don't agree with it, like totally, because but I can see your thinking behind it because he's got pace. Maybe he'll be able to cover the ground.
You know what as well? I've seen Papa Sarr take up them striking positions many times.
Yeah.
Nick, you've seen it as well, though.
Wait, Marlon? Huh?
Oh, hello, Marlon. Yeah. How you been, bro? What's your lineup? What's your lineup?
Right? I've got to ask you a serious question. Right?
Go for it, bro.
Like, I know Harry's a bit like off the boil, right? And I know he thinks Arsenal and all the Trossard stuff, right? But seriously, let me ask you this question. You're going into a North London derby, right? And I get Ange and everything. But are you really going to ask him to play a formation that he's never played before in a North London derby?
He has to.
He has to, otherwise
he has to. Yeah. He has to. It's not. You know what it is, yeah? You have to take off your Spurs hat and take off your Spurs pants and see how it is. Yeah,
but
for me,
but what you're all asking him to do is something they haven't trained for all season. In probably what is the biggest
it's first time to try out.
You don't do Arsenal against Liverpool next week.
Do you have the authority to add people? Because I can't see. Because Brian's trying to join. I'm trying to add him, but now you come on, I can't see him.
What do you mean you can't see it? I've come in as a guest, so I can't do it.
Oh shit! I have to refresh it again because the thing is, problem with this thing is like it always. I have to
No, but on a serious note, right? Like this, and this is me like being serious, right? I get why you don't want to change the formation, right? But in a North London derby, do you really think it's like?
But you know what? Yeah.
Go on.
But you know what? Yeah, look, I'm coming from a perspective of what I would do in it. Of course, Ange's not going to do it. We know he's going to line up with 4 at the back, and we're going to go with this high line because he's proven that he's not going to change anything. Let's be honest with you. He even said, "This is how I play. I'm not going to change anything." But the question was, how would we line up? And we're definitely saying there's a problem. Mm-hmm. There's a problem with what. Yes, Brian. How you been, man?
Well, good. Marlon,
there's a problem with this. You're upside down. No, you're not.
I'm upside down.
Am I?
Yeah.
No.
You look upside down to me, man.
No. The problem. There's a problem with. Yeah, the problem is we can see what's going to happen because Arsenal's been a dominant side, and I'm going to say it as a Spurs fan. Any Spurs fan that says I'm deluded, they can. I will take that trophy. I'll take that hat and say I'm deluded on air. You can clip it if you want to clip it. You have to counteract how Arsenal play. So we have to play defensive. We need to go 5 at the back, park the whole of North London if we have to, and counterattack. That changes the whole way that Ange wants to play.
If you look at all our previous wins against Arsenal under any manager, I'm not even joking, under Poch, under Redknapp, under AVB, under Conte, it's all been playing defensive and hitting them on the counter attack every single time.
100%.
Apart from, I wouldn't say when our first game at the Lane, where the new White Hart Lane under Conte, I wouldn't say we were very defensive.
We were.
We wasn't. I don't, because everyone forgets in that period under Conte, right? We wasn't as defensive as we were in the second part of the season. We were attacking. Kulusevski had the free reins of North London. He was doing bits. Son was scoring goals for fun.
They did go down to 10 men though, Marlon. That's what changed the game.
Yeah, of course, right? But we wasn't very defensive. And you got to think all the games under Poch at home against Arsenal, we wasn't that defensive. The away games, I'll give you. Poch changed it for the away games. He always did. He always went defensive and tried to get him on the counter. And like most years, it worked. But for me, right, with what you guys are saying with the 3 at the back, if he had done it 2-3 weeks ago and tried it, I'd have gone fair play. But for me, you blatantly know they haven't worked on it for the last 2 weeks, right? Your doggy literally only came out last weekend, so your doggy was meant to be playing, right? So you can't go into that game playing a formation that he's never ever played before. He's got to go with what he knows, right? And what you have to also take into consideration, right, is he went to Man City with Royale and bloody Ben Davies as our centre backs, played the same way and got a result, right? And Manchester City, I'll be completely honest, are slightly, look, I get everyone talks about how good Arsenal have been this season, right? But Arsenal went to Manchester City and played completely defensive.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Twice. So that's how they saw them as a threat. We went there, played our game, and let's be honest,
We're kind of lucky though in the end.
Yeah, and in the end, if he didn't take off Lo Celso, it was his substitutions that killed the momentum of the game, right? So for him, the next 3 games are like Liverpool, City, and
Chelsea.
and Arsenal
Chelsea as well.
Yeah, I know we got Chelsea, but I'm not like that's it doesn't matter how crap Chelsea are. Spurs are never going to Stamford Bridge and getting 3 points.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? We didn't get the 3 points in 91, 92 when they were crap. We're not getting one next week. But all I'm saying to you is think logical about this, right? Is I'm not an advocate for this high line against Arsenal. I think it will kill us. But I don't think if he went and changed it and we got killed, I'd be fuming. I'd rather him go with what he knows against a team.
But then, Marlon, can you argue that I'd give him more props for trying something different?
But not in a North London derby. It's the one game where I go, you can't be doing stupid stuff. Like, like if he tries it next week against Liverpool, fair play, do what you like. But when it comes to these lot, you have to go what you know, because if he goes into that, like,
well, I agree with what you're saying, but let's be real, we're going to lose anyway.
I get that.
We're going to lose anyway.
But we've got more chance. Like for me, we've got more chance if we start as quick and fast as we have done for weeks ago. Who knows, right? Who knows? At the end of the day, Arsenal's biggest threat, right? The Arsenal's biggest weakness, if you've noticed in games that they've played this season, where teams have taken their chances, right? Especially, I think Bayern Munich really exposed them at the Emirates. They can't deal with pace. They can't deal with it. Right, but everyone seems to miss their chances when they get the opportunity, right? The only team that weren't allowed to play against them was Manchester City, right? Because Manchester, they went really defensive. But against Liverpool at Anfield, they couldn't deal with Salah that day. So what did they do when they came to Emirates? They literally there was no Salah, there was no pace for them to deal with, so they just went for it. And I think that's been the key thing. If you just watch the games Arsenal have lost, right? Take the ones they won out of isolation, right? But even some of them, they just can't deal with pace. And unfortunately for us, we've got to play the perfect game to win, right? And I said this week, Werner and Johnson are going to be key. But my only problem with Werner is he'll get into those great chances, but he'll miss them. So does it become pointless?
That's what I was trying to say earlier.
If he was brave enough to go with 3 at the back, like you guys are saying, right? I completely agree. But for me, I just wouldn't do it in a North London derby. It's the only game I wouldn't do it unless you tried it before. That's just me.
Right. And
I'm not saying
let's just hypothetically, we'll bring Brian Daigle in, but I just want to ask you a question in it because Harry Scarr thought I was crazy in it. Hypothetically, if he was to go 3 at the back in it, what would your left back be? Because I said Papa Sarr.
I said Kulusevski.
And it might sound crazy, but and he said Kulusevski.
Okay, then you're asking, this is again with the left back situation. Like I said to you, look, I said in the chat earlier, right? The thing that worries me, everyone's talking about Ben. Like he said, Ben Davies can come in and do a good job, but Ben Davies has played left back, right? Started left back twice for Spurs this season, right? Crystal Palace away, he got dragged off at half time for how poor he was. The other one was Wolves at home, and we lost. They played 90 minutes.
Exactly.
So
that's why I went Papa Sarr, man. Yeah. I'd rather give someone new a run out. You know.
So for me, it's a worry that actually I'm thinking that, and I can't believe I'm saying this. Should he go with Royale there? There's a reason why Royale's been playing there instead of Ben Davies. But again, I don't believe it will work. I don't believe it will work because I know that Royale can't play there either. So it's going to be one of them. For me, I'd personally, and this, if he was to adapt his style a little bit, right, and does he really need to? I'd put Van de Ven there and put Dragusin in centre back. That's what because Van de Ven can play left back, but we just haven't seen it this year. And maybe that would be the key, and maybe he doesn't invert them, and then you get your three at the back.
Do you know if he plays a back four, he'll invert them anyway?
Yeah, but it's just more the fact if he had to put Van der Ven there, right? He wouldn't like Van der Ven's probably not the greatest on the ball going forward. So why would you invert Van der Ven when you know Porro is going to be up there all the time?
I'm not saying I agree with him, Mark, but he will invert him if he plays on the left back.
Yeah. But maybe Van der Ven goes to himself, I can't invert anyway because he's got to keep hold of Saka. Yeah. Just me. But bring Daigle in. Bring Daigle in.
Yeah.
So first of all, I have to say, one of my only saving graces and hopes of us getting a result is Ben and Simeon keep mentioning how good Marlon's record is on the watch-alongs. So that is like I am a superstitious son of a bitch. So
Ben has mentioned it a few times, and I'm like, oh, crap.
Literally, I'm pinning my hopes on Marlon. But where I completely agree with Marlon is you do not experiment in this game. You do not do it. One of the biggest ones I'll give the example of is back in the day with AVB when out of the blue he just decided to say Hugo Lloris have your debut away at the Emirates, and we got pummeled 5-2. Whether it would have made a difference with Brad Friedel in goal, who knows? I'm with Marlon. Listen, our record at Anfield is so poor. If you experiment there, fine. If any manager ever experiments on the North London derby, I'm absolutely fuming, because that is the one game. I don't care if you've had 2 weeks to train. You do not try something for the first time in that game. Bear in mind, if it does work, amazing, what a stroke of genius. But if it doesn't, it's like how we don't take the cup competition seriously. This is the one game for the fans that there's no messing around. There is no, I don't want to hear if we lose, oh yeah, we learn from this, we come back stronger, we're tired, blah. This is the one game you do not experiment. You just do not. I am with whoever said if we did go to a back three, Kulusevski at left back all day long. This is just the one game. When you go on that, when you cross that white line, form out the window. There's a lot of players who will be playing their first North London derby at home. Their very, very first one. And obviously, people like James Maddison that have not experienced, obviously, he's had derbies, Leicester, Villa, Leicester, whoever. Totally different. This is the difference. And at home, you do not mess about. You do not experiment. This is the one game where you don't experiment. You just do not. You play this formation, the system you have been doing. If it goes wrong, it's gone wrong. What I want to see from him is if we are struggling, let's just say we're getting annihilated for 10, 15, 20 minutes, they score an early goal. The only thing Ange should change is for one, say, right, for 10, 15 minutes, let's drop back. Let's just stop them doing this. Let's weather the storm. That's the only experiment he should be doing. There is no way he should change the formation. Even though I think a back three, for example, with Van der Ven, Dragusin and Romero is the key to it and would be better. Don't experiment on them. Don't experiment against this lot. Just do not do it.
Do you think there's more pressure on Ange because after the Newcastle battering, he needs to perform in this North London derby?
Chelsea after this and got Liverpool as well.
Well, what you got to remember with this as well is with these games all coming thick and fast, if any Spurs fans go, oh, the congestion has screwed us, blah, 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 or I hear Spurs Twitter or social media go, oh, yeah, we're tired. Bullshit. You've had all season where you played less games than everyone else. You should be ready to go right now. You should be absolutely ready to go. And listen, the game has come now. Sorry, TJ, what was the question again, buddy?
I was saying, is there pressure on Ange after the Newcastle battering?
Yeah, with that, you got to remember, I think us having this 2 weeks was the worst thing that could have happened to us. Arsenal lost to Villa. Arsenal lost to Bayern. Straight away, they had 2 games to rectify it coming into this. They had Wolves, and which I'm now calling roll over and tickle your belly derby, which is Arsenal and Chelsea, because Chelsea just literally rolled over for them, and they've got 2 wins back to back. They come into this game now in full swing, momentum, confidence back after 2 games. They're now at home after that 4-0 embarrassment. And if they don't get off to a quick start, Ange's under big pressure. But the one thing I was saying on Tottenham away earlier, people were saying, does Ange realise how big this game is, yada, yada, yada. The one thing I will say, he's just come from Glasgow. That man knows what a big derby means. That guy, listen, whether you want to say Glasgow Rangers Celtic, yeah, it's in the Scottish League, it's not as big as Spurs Arsenal. Fan-wise, it's bigger. What that means up there to them with the Protestant and that is a vile, toxic derby. That is the extreme of the extreme. He knows what it means. He knows exactly how big these derbies are, and he just best be aware that muck about with this one, or if this doesn't go well in the first half, and I've said it before, we may be able to give him a match. We may be able to give him a game. But I am so concerned that this game is going to come down to set pieces. And if it does, since Declan Rice has taken set pieces, it's a massive, massive, massive strength for Arsenal. It's a huge weakness for Tottenham Hotspur. And not just for Ange. We've all known for ages. Under Poch, it was an issue. Under AVB, it was an issue. Under Conte, attacking-wise, it wasn't, because we had that coach. Defensively, nearer the end, but set pieces are massive in this game.
It's more.
Right. Do you know why that set piece coach got rid of, or whatever? What happened to him? Like,
well, because Spurs did what Spurs do. When they sacked Conte, they sacked everyone apart from Stellini, and said, "Stellini, you stay here. Everyone off you go."
Even the good guys there.
Yeah, but this is the thing. We all come on here. We're all YouTubers or people in the comments. There's certain things at Tottenham Hotspur that as fans we can clearly see. We may not have the right answer, solutions, and think Championship Manager or it's like FIFA, but set pieces have been a huge problem for Tottenham Hotspur. And Arsenal was struggling with it. Then they said, Declan Rice, you're going on corners and free kicks.
And they got that guy as well in, didn't they?
And then bang, it changed. Yeah. We're not experimenting, we're not changing, and the set piece battle is a huge concern for me. Huge concern.
Boys, before you carry on, I'm gonna drop because I've got to go. But
bye upside down, Marlon.
Yeah. Brian, I'll speak to you Sunday after We Are Tottenham TV. That's where everyone can catch me Sunday. Big up to everyone in the chat. Make sure you like and subscribe to Even Hotspur, Spursy Talks, and also Tottenham on Tour. But I'll speak to everyone over the weekend. But laters, I'm gone.
See you later. Yeah, no, Haz, I was just gonna say, lost what I was gonna say. No, I was gonna say, look, the comment, the first half is gonna be extremely important to us. I totally agree. You know, if we get pebbled in the first 5 minutes, it could be a long game.
I've got to be honest with you, like I've been going to the North London Derby for years, or watching it for years. And I get the same things as like when we're back in 06 or back in the 2000s or whatever. We were playing Arsenal and we knew they were coming and they were better than us. What we would do, we would try and stay in the game as long as possible and try and hit them with like a counter or like a goal like
exactly. that. This is why, look, I agree that it's crazy to experiment in a North London derby. But after I saw what happened to us, 2 weeks ago or 1 week ago against Newcastle?
2 weeks, yeah.
We got fisted. Let's be honest with you, you know. Hence why I'm a bit scared, and I'll even say it with my chest. I believe we're going to lose. So the first half is going to be a massive, massive important part in the whole entire game, because if we can keep it 0-0 first half, there's a chance of us doing a sneaky steal, you know? And let's just hope the boys turn up, because we haven't seen them turn up for a very long time. a very long time. When was the last time we've actually seen a very good performance? And I'm talking about a performance that you've walked away from the game and you've said, wow, big up the players. Because I can't remember the last time after them last, 12, 13, maybe 12, 13, 14 games. But it's just been downhill from that point on to now.
From Chelsea,
There's not been games
from Chelsea.
Yeah, from
No, probably
Chelsea.
Newcastle.
And what did I?
At home.
Newcastle when we beat them. Yeah, that was a good game to be honest with you.
One of them.
Yeah, but it's been a very long time. So North London derby is a big game for most of these players, and as you said earlier, most of them haven't actually walked under that pressure.
I agree with you, TJ. For Ange, I think it is massive because if we lose this badly, like, you don't know what the repercussions are going to be.
You know what? It can derail him to the point where, look, I'm not going to be happy feet and say everything's rosy, but if we see a very poor performance, I'm going to come here and be first to say, listen, is Ange what we need? Because this style of play has been hurting us. As much as a lot of people are saying it's the way we play, the high line's important. If it hurts us constantly, you have to call it out. The same way we're calling out set pieces. We're weak on set piece. The same way we're saying Vicario can't catch a ball. It's a constant issue. Marlon said you can't teach goalkeepers to catch the ball. His statement was you know what I'm saying? There's context in the statement, but these problems are reoccurring, and until Ange fixes them and we get better players, and see, this is my point. It always goes back down onto who we have on the pitch. Because for me, and I'm going to say it again, next year I don't want to see Werner because he's not good enough, and I wish we never signed Johnson because he's not good enough. I want to see the best of the best play for Tottenham.
I'm sure Brian will agree with you.
That's just for me.
I was at the North London derby last year when we lost 2-0. And it was my first North London derby since Christian Ziege scored that wonderful free kick in 2004, 3, whatever it may have been. And I walked out at half time. And the reason I walked out at half time is I was sitting, I got my ticket thanks to a friend that couldn't go. And I was sitting in a section where literally the fans were blaming anything but what the reason was. The Arsenal fans were singing "Levy, we want you to stay," and literally I could hear all the supporters literally behind, just literally not even talking about the game. They were so lack of interest. It was just like, oh yeah, well, what can we do? Yeah, and just started talking about their day-to-day life, and I was just like, I can't deal with this because I'm going to lose my temper and do something I'm going to regret. I just had to get out, and they need to. That performance last season at White Hart Lane was totally unacceptable. Totally and utterly unacceptable. And they need to step up. They need to step up because it's just, if we allow them to start off strongly and get a foothold in this game, there could be a long
afternoon, I think.
It could be, mate, it could be a long afternoon. My dad's going to the game, his first North London derby in God knows how long. There's a load of people that have actually flown over from Toronto.
I saw Leo's come, isn't he, as well?
Leo's come over from Denver. There's going to be a load. You know what I mean? Last time Bobby Kay came round,
I remember. I remember.
To a North London derby, brought his kids over for one of his kids' birthdays. I didn't even get to see a goal. Just got to see a really bad performance, and it just needs to be a better performance than last year, and at least give them a game. You know what? If we give them a game. If they do, listen, if we turn up and play like we did at the Emirates and we lose, all you can say is, do you know what? They gave it a go and they left everything on the pitch. A defeat, football, it happens. But to put in a bad performance and just get beat like we did last season, is just not on.
But don't you think that, like, tactically, I know you said he won't change formation, right? But do you think he will do something different, Brian, or not?
Yeah, the only thing I hope is, let's say it is Davis at left back. Do you remember when we had Serge Aurier?
Yeah.
And I can't remember who else was a left back, and that left back stayed behind whilst he went up. So
on the
we're
Jose.
going to need to do that. We're going to need to do that with Porro, where Porro goes up, and if it's Davies stays back or whatever. Because one of the things I hear people talking about as well is possibly trying Van de Ven at left back. He can play that position, but the problem for me with that is he is so important to the high line and being back to cover. If we play the high line with him at left back, we are so exposed. We are so exposed, and that could be an issue. I would rather have Davies at left back and Van de Ven at centre rather than centre back, put Van de Ven left and bring Dragusin in. It terrifies me, Van de Ven being left back.
I agree with you. Listen, you know what? That's totally right. Van de Ven is so important to our centrepiece. And see, this is why, as much as I do agree that, look, now you've said it, like, you can't be experimenting and all of that. This is why I want to experiment. Because it might sound crazy. I want to go 3 at the back. But for me, he's so important to us within the recovery pace, within, look, okay, not last week, I keep calling it last week. The week before that, against Newcastle, he was all over the place. And rightly so. A player can have a bad performance, but he's so important for us. So for me, we have to change something. Or we just say, this high line is not high line.
For
that game.
After watching the Chelsea game, I'm so sure saw that Havertz goal, yeah? With the ball from Odegaard.
Yep.
I can picture that on Sunday with the way we play, because we're so high. One ball in behind, Havertz is going to score. The way he's playing as well. I mean, it's just...
And this is the problem, innit, And this is why I criticize the manager, because even though he said he has his style and he has his ways to play, I'm not saying change your whole dynamic and change your whole philosophy. I'm not saying that, but you have to really smell the coffee and wake up, innit? You have to be accountable, and you have to have a second idea, a second way to play. And you can't just say, listen, this is how I play. Because that's not going to work with me. We've had managers that have had better. We've had Mourinho, we've had Conte, we've had all these managers that have won more things and more established than this person.
Redknapp. Well.
And for him to say, this is how I play, tough, it is what it is. See, he has to change. I'm sorry, he has to change for the North London derby.
See, TJ, the thing where the place that I've said I'd like to see change is I would actually start the front 3 as Kulu on the right, even though I've been really disappointed with him all season. I think he's really important going into this game for his hold-up play. Then Richarlison, because if there's one thing you can give Richarlison credit for is he will not give those defenders a second on the ball. He will literally put them under pressure, and then put Sonny on the left, and have Werner and Johnson as impact subs to come off the bench with their pace, because I think Richarlison, I don't know how much time we're going to get off him. He may not. People are saying he doesn't turn up in the big games, whatever, and he may not. But one thing he will do better than any of those forwards is give those defenders a torrid time. Kulusevski is our destiny. We need his hold-up. We need his hold-up play. And Sonny on the left could make a huge difference.
Can I just throw a little curveball? Not as you've claimed that you need Kulusevski, Richarlison, and Son to play the wing. Can I just counter-argument your argument?
Of course you can.
Now, the difference with me, I believe, and you're gonna think, what, I'm crazy. I believe Johnson, Son, and Werner is going to be so important for us to win against Arsenal. But that's if we were playing three at the back, because we need the pace to get in behind. So my way of thinking, Kulusevski is a bit too slow because we're going to be counter-attacking and playing them on the break, right? But if he does actually line up with how he usually lines up, I can see what you're saying. It's just, I don't know, man. We're ultimately, I believe we're going to lose, man. Let's just say it how it is.
TJ, I'm a huge fan of Johnson's, and I think he's going to turn out to be some player like next season. But I just can't see him tracking back in the first half like Kulusevski will on the right. And then if Arsenal start tiring and they look like they can be exposed, you bring him on. Look what he did against Palace or other teams when he comes on. Yeah. I'd rather have his pace to come on and terrorise Arsenal.
Especially on the left side as well, because that's where Zinchenko or whoever will play, in it. So,
exactly. So I'd rather have him come on and target them when they're tiring rather than have him on and take him off and have to bring a Kulu on when we need the pace, the energy, whatever. I think I'd rather Richarlison start and see how much time we can get out of him rather than bring him on and see if he can impact the game. I think he can do more from the beginning than he can from coming on to give, because those Arsenal, if we've seen Gabriel, if you harass him, there's an error in him. And one thing Richarlison does, whether you like him, don't like him, one thing Richarlison will do is non-stop run and pressurize and get him with a shithousery and everything. And that will also cheer the fans up as well. I think Richarlison is quite important in this game.
Yeah. Totally.
That's what I'm playing. That's what I'm playing, Brian, because I just think he won't stop harassing the centre halves, and we need someone to stop playing out the back. So yeah. So he's vital.
It's a score prediction.
Oh,
I heard you on Tottenham TV earlier saying 2-2, isn't it?
So listen, I hate more than anything saying the Filth are going to win. It's literally the equivalent of me saying Levy, the opposite of out.
Yeah,
it's that painful. In my heart, I'm going 2-2. I think I'll bite your hand off for a draw. But like I said, my hugest concern and biggest issue is set pieces. And if it comes down to set pieces, then I think they will be a lot more. They will. And I have to say, at the moment, since Maddison's come back from injury, he has not been the same player. I want to see him taking some long range shots, taking some free kicks, and Odegaard at the moment is on absolute fire. He's on another level right now. Our midfield, I've been saying for a while, the first 9, or minus the Brentford game, the next 9 games where we were unplayable, Bissouma, Maddison, Sarr were untouchable. They would rival any 3. They had everything. But since the injuries and the AFCONs, no matter what midfield we're playing, the only time I think the midfield looked good was when Maddison was injured and Lo Celso was in, when we played Man City and Aston Villa when we lost at home. That's the only time
Bentancur came off, didn't he? I think after 20.
Bentancur came off with Villa, but Lo Celso was incredible.
Yeah.
And the Man City game, obviously at the
Lo Celso played, didn't it?
And he was vital. He was key. But since then, I can't remember a midfield performance where you can say, do you know what, our midfield dominated and had everything like what we had at the beginning of the season.
So, Brian, because you mentioned set pieces, right? I thought I'd just ask you this. What do you think the biggest problem is on set pieces? Do you think it's a zonal marking? Do you think what is it?
It is that. And obviously, Vicario they've seen that obviously it's a target area. We've also seen with our defending, the people we're putting on certain players are ridiculous. Like we put Maddison on players that have got the best aerial ability. I'm like, why is Maddison on that guy? Why is Maddison there? It's just been an issue.
It's a joke, isn't it?
That's the part I don't get. You look at it and you think, right, we've got the power, like when you got Destiny in there, you got Kulu in there, you got You got Romero. The power is there, but it's just we're just lacking concentration, and I don't understand.
Doesn't that come down to the manager then? It's the manager's fault.
Well, you got to look at Jedinak as well, who's doing the defensive coaching for the pieces. I actually like Jedinak. I really think he can turn into a good coach. Loved him as a player at Palace. Loved him, and I thought, do you know what, that could be an inspired. But these set pieces are a huge concern. But the thing is, you can see Arsenal have been working on it. You can see a lot of these look straight from the training ground. And with us, I just don't see any understanding, cohesion. There's no communication. I'm just very concerned about the set pieces. I don't know what it is, I don't know what it is, but they need to be on their game Sunday. They need to be right.
Because Brian, you make a very good point about saying about, Maddison was on so-and-so player, but don't you think the manager or the coach or whoever is doing this, say the manager picks the 11 on the Friday or something, or the Thursday, and he says, I'm playing this 11. Do you not think they pull up the pad or whatever it is and they say, look, on a corner, I want you with this guy, you with this guy, you with this guy, you with this guy. Do you not think they do that? Because when I watch us, I just feel like they just think, oh, whoever's closest to me, I'm going to go mark.
That's what you would hope.
And you get a mismatch. You get a mismatch, a short player and a tall player. Because No, I get where you're coming from, man.
Amateur football I've played, for example, everyone's like, okay, Harry, you take this guy because you're shorter. You take this guy because I'll take this guy because I'm taller.
100%, bro. And then I look around me and I see some tall brother and I say, yo, Dylan. I say, yo, Dylan, bro, this guy is too tall. Take him, man.
You look at it as well. Against Newcastle, Kulusevski was marking a person when a set piece came in, and it was just like, oh, the ball's going there. There you go, have a header. Just
you know what? I think that comes down to the captaincy, though. Isn't the captain meant to like, yo, do this, do that? Like, we've lost that person that is at the back. Like, you know what? I have a video. Well, I'm doing a video next week, innit? And it's about this one player. One thing that was really underrated about Lloris, he spoke his mind. He basically was although he was the main man when it comes to, yo, go here, yo, go there. Vicario don't really speak. I don't even think he speaks English.
Vicario speaks perfect English. Absolutely.
It must be translating into Chinese in these guys' ears because
incredible English. In fact, a few of my mates that obviously go regularly have said this guy non-stop shuts up. Non-stop is shouting and screaming. What you got to look at, TJ, as well, and I look at it, you go back in the day of Spurs teams, there were proper men on that pitch.
Yeah, 100%.
There were proper people that would say, like, for instance, I'll go back to, and I hate using these kind of people, Tony Adams, John Terry, Roy Keane, Patrick Vieira, Ledley, those people, Gary Mabbott, those people that just go, what you're doing
grab them by the top and say, look.
We saw in the documentary what Lloris and Son did when they ran into the change room having an argument. On the pitch, if you look at Romero, yes, he could be a hothead. Yes, he can, but you don't see enough of it on the pitch.
He's not vocal, though. Right.
Well, this is the thing.
Romero's not
vocal. That's the thing.
I don't know,
we need some men, we need some leaders like Mabbotts and everyone that said, this is unacceptable. You get back here and do this. It just doesn't seem that we have that anymore. You look at the Steven Gerrards.
Yeah, Gerrard, man.
No. But you know what makes me question these guys' brains? Like, you're the goalkeeper and you're seeing Kulusevski marking a tool, brother. Brother, say Van der Ven go there, bro.
Well, the sad thing is Van der Ven's weakness is his area.
His header. Yeah.
He has everything. Don't get me wrong, he can defend a header and whatever. But if there is one little chink in Van der Ven's armour, it's that.
Man, this might sound racist, but that's what they say, white man can't jump, innit? You know, it is what it is, innit? You know, you have to just get with the program, innit? Look, I agree, innit? That's his biggest weakness, but we need to really sort out this set piece.
Also,
it's becoming.
I'm saying, I'm like a small person here. You ain't met me like, I'm small yet, so I used to always get the back post, and I'll be saying, "You guys, these guys." But also, what I always think about set pieces, I always taught when I was like younger. Yeah, it's like a battle because the ball comes in, and it's like who can get the first header to clear it. Who can like it's a battle. It's not like it is a tactical thing in some ways.
But this one can run.
It's like yeah. Bro, I ain't gonna get a header from one. I'm too small. But like, if you know what I'm trying to say, isn't it?
Any white people? Let me just wait. Hold on, bro. Any white people in this chat, in it? Yeah, I have love for you, man. No racism, bro. It's only banter, innit? You know.
Don't worry,
I'll take that comment back if you take offense to it. But I'm just making it clear because you know how YouTubers move, innit? Like,
yeah, but you might not have your week next week, TJ.
I have to say, Toxic has just said, my man Toxic has just said something. And one of the reasons I loved Pierre-Emile Højbjerg as much as I did was from the start. When you saw his interview when he joined Spurs, he was like, the team first, I take for the team. The team is, but he is someone that is so vocal. He is someone that will literally say, listen, this don't fly. He can, listen, I still think at the moment in this system, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg can do a lot more damage from the bench where he knows what he needs to do as opposed to when he starts. Under Conte, for me, he was incredible. Incredible. But Højbjerg is definitely one that when it comes to being a man on the pitch and telling it how it is, without a doubt, he's the man for that. Without a doubt.
Like that's why in all the teams we picked, Brian, everyone put Højbjerg in instead of Basuma because I mean he's the only number 6 we have really that's like a proper number 6. People you might say Skip, but Skip is just not on the level that.
No, and he's injured for this game.
Yeah, he's out as well anyway. So yeah.
Well, when Ange announced it, and it was like midfielder out, I was like, oh no, who? It was like Ollie Skip, and I was like, well, he weren't going to get on the pitch anyway, so it's no biggie. But that's why I've been saying on all the shows I go on, the number 6 for me this window is the most important player, in my opinion, that we have to sign.
So, like, what number 6 would you get then? I know he's Paulinho.
Paulinho, without even a debate. Without even a debate, is Paulinho. And people say, oh yeah, but he's 29, blah 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 blah. And it's like, well, when Robin van Persie went to Arsenal, United, all right, the money is a lot different now to what it was. They wanted a striker to guarantee winning them the league, and they did that. And you look at Paulinho, and then you have fans saying, yeah, he gets injured too much. I don't like his discipline. He may miss a few games. Do you think Arsenal and Manchester United fans were saying that about Roy Keane and Patrick Vieira? If Paulinho missed 8 games of the season, just picking a number, I would take that for the 30 games that he'd be ready to play. But again, we'll have to see what happens.
Because I think, isn't he going to cost like 60, 70 million? At least that's what I was hearing anyway. Yeah.
Probably about that. But listen, when it comes to it, you need a player that will make the huge impact that he could. Then you pay them. Look at Wanyama. Wanyama came in. You look at it. I say as well, that first season we got Champions League, when Crouch scored that header, for me, the most important and the person that got us there wasn't. It was Wilson Palacios.
Palacios was amazing back in the day.
I absolutely loved him. But that's what we needed, and that's what you need in modern day football now. You need that number 6.
The only reason I'm questioning about Paulinho, it's not me who's disagreeing. It's just Ange wants from watching Basuma and his insistence to play Basuma. It's like he wants a very progressive 6. That's the word I'm going to use. But is Paulinho progressive enough to play it? I don't know. I haven't seen him enough. So
listen, as long as it's not bloody.
That's why you need Douglas Luiz, man. You need Douglas Luiz, bro. He's absolutely
Douglas Luiz.
Nah, he can jump into them areas. Douglas Luiz is my guy, man. I think Douglas Luiz will do a very good job in the Tottenham shirt. He's good defensively and he's good going forwards.
Villa won't sell.
But, yeah, that's the problem. Villa won't sell. But for me, that's my person. That's my. We're talking about number 6. I don't want Conor Gallagher. I think he's a pony, to be honest with you. Yeah. And for me, it has to be Douglas Luiz. Even look, and it might sound crazy, innit? Yeah. What's the chance of us going to Chelsea and buying Lavia?
I don't want anyone from Chelsea, unless it was Cole Palmer.
Yeah.
Funny enough, that
Lavia
ain't
is a good
happening.
player. I'm talking from past Chelsea, man. Lavia was really good, man.
At Southampton,
He's
yeah. He was,
progressive.
yeah.
He's progressive, and he's a good like what do you call it? He's a good number 6, isn't it? Like evening, all. I hope everyone's well. Yeah. Big up yourself, bro. How you been? Is there any other number 6 out there? Like, because I don't even know if there's any.
I don't really know many number 6s. I've been looking at strikers personally.
Well, if you want to know about the number 6s, Sean Butler on Spurs Talk Show did a top 10 and did some research into it. And he really, really dived into it. It's a great watch. But it's what we need. It's what we need. Like you said, these kind of players, like when you look for a goalkeeper or whatever, they're such an elite position that very few of them come about.
We definitely need a winger. And I've added a new winger to my list, innit? This is me, TJ the scout. Adeyemi from Dortmund.
That's the one you talked about before, isn't it?
Yeah, man. He is such a player, bruv. You know, we need to get in before he blows up. Trust me, he is the player, bruv. He is the winger we need. I'm sold on it. I think he should come to Spurs.
But do you think you need 2 wingers or 1 winger? Because I think they're going to buy 1 winger only.
Adeyemi is going to cost a lot. I think he's going to cost more than 60, 70 million, to be honest with you.
They're looking at
the way
Nico Williams at Bilbao, aren't they? That's what I read.
Yeah, they're looking at
Eze as well, yeah.
Eze is. I wanted him over Maddison last season.
Is he more of a number 10 though, Brian?
Say again?
Isn't he more of a number 10 or not?
Well, he can play there, but what he has been doing under Palace right now, under Glasner, has been playing on the left of the front 3. And look what he's doing. I think with Eze, he's disciplined enough to play a host of positions. And for me, if that man comes in, that's like, okay, this is a big statement signing, and that is genuine competition.
Well, the problem with Eze, it's going to cost too much.
Of course he is.
Any player we talk about is probably going to toss too much, to be honest with you.
Of course
and we know this bold, oh, no offense, Brian, but I was just about to say this bold guy, man, is not gonna spend the cash. He's willing to build a new hotel. He's willing to build a new hotel, and he's not willing to spend the money. So it is what it is. But always
renewals. It's season ticket renewal talk. As Hazel know, we've been here before, where all the players' names come out. It's we're interested in this, we're interested in that, we're doing this, we're doing that, and then season ticket deadline goes and it goes quiet. Happens
it's like with
year.
Conte. I remember even having a Conte. You know, before we got Nuno, like Conte talk, and then
Mate, I will tell you right here, right now. I was on Matt Hayes' channel the day that happened, and I was on with Danny Kiriakis.
For Nuno, you mean?
No, for Conte, and we're talking about it, and they're like, "Oh, is Conte going to come? Is Conte going to do this? Is Conte?" I was like, "Listen, season ticket renewals are up. They close at 5 o'clock or whatever time it was that day." I said, "You watch. Within hours of the season ticket renewal deadline going, the deal will collapse." The show finished that day. Within hours, bang. Conte not happening. It's unfortunately I'm fluent in Levy bullshit. I've got my diploma, I've got my doctorate.
Look,
and I see it.
We already know that. Look, even me, I'm the lead. I want him gone. In fact, it's a triangle of people that want him out. Now, the question that I'm going to ask is, I don't believe in what I'm saying. It's not even coming out my mouth, innit? But do you think Levy could turn this around? Is there a chance? Do you get where I'm coming from? Like, is there?
It will take a miracle.
Hold on. Enough love for TJ. Hold on 1 minute. It would be great. Spurs could do the double deal. Enough love for TJ. Big up, my bro. You are too young to be this wide. It's my friend. Big up, bro. Big up.
You're too young to be this wide.
I am a young guy, man.
Yeah.
There's no turning it
Yeah,
around.
no. What I was saying is there in an alternate universe a chance where Levy could just snap and then we become great?
Whatever you're eating, drinking, smoking,
I don't believe what
breathing,
I'm saying. Let me be real.
please listen. I've said it before. For me to even contemplate that he's changing, it would take 4 to 5 years of constantly backing a manager. Now, I don't mean every single player he wants we get, because I'm realistic. That ain't going to happen. It would take 4 to 5 years of serious investment, buying quality, not quantity, letting players go when the manager says we need to get them out. One window. Listen, last summer's window was okay to good. If you look at it, listen.
Yeah, I agree.
Vicario, Bissouma, Vicario.
I said it was bad. I even said it was bad because we needed 2 centre backs. Go for it, bro.
When January came, TJ, I said I'm not basing the window on how many players we get. I'm not basing it on how much money we spend. I'm basing it. Ange wants his players in quick. Let's see if we get the players in the first week, 10 days of the window, as opposed to Kulusevski and Bentancur last day of the window, Porro last day of the window. And fair play to the club. They got 2 players in early. Whether people agree with Werner being a good deal or not, or whether Dragusin would, Spurs acted quickly, which is different to what we've done.
But then, Brian, you look at, I saw a link today. We're linked with an 18-year-old, or is it play? I can't remember who it was.
Shocking.
Sorry?
I've said this before, I've said this before. I'm just waiting for Daniel Levy to open a chain of sperm banks, and literally he's going to say, why invest in youth when you can build them yourself? That's what I mean. Literally, but this is the thing. It's all well and good buying youth players. Like, don't get me wrong, Bergvall really,
I'm saying we buy too many youth players. I'm saying,
of course, but no, those players excite me. Vuskovic coming excites me. Phillips, I think he's going to be a future England star. I really, really rate him. But when you're doing these youngsters, it's all well and good, but you need to bring in some quality, real quality, to go with it.
And when I say real quality, I say world class. I want world class players to play for Tottenham. I don't want these makeshift Werner. Werner a couple of years ago was real quality. Now he's dusted. You get where I'm coming from, innit? So
cheap. He's dusted.
So look, I didn't even believe what I said in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, generally, because I'm one of the hosts, you have to ask the question. But believe me, I don't believe what was coming out my mouth. Even when it was coming out my mouth, I felt like, yo, bro, let me retract it. Let me swallow it back in. You know, because we've been in this situation too many years. You know, 15 point what?
Harry Scarf, though, TJ. It'll take
Harry Scarf is not, listen, you're going to think I dislike him, but Harry Scarf is happy feet. I call him happy feet because he thinks everything's good. You build a stadium, wow, it's good. You build this, oh, it's good. He doesn't see it for what it is. He's a puppet for the club, and you need to understand that. When you speak to people that are puppets for the club, big up Levy. That's what they say. Big up Levy. Okay, maybe next year. Brother, look. We're struggling to get top 4. When Ange said, listen, we're going to be title contender next year, it correlates to what Harry's saying. We're going to win a trophy next year.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we get next year and we don't win a trophy, he's going to say...
Year after that. It'll be a year after that.
A year after that.
Yeah.
Oh, you need to understand that we had a lot of injuries. They use, but
if this
we had a lot going on at that time.
Yeah.
Bro, I've been through this thing. It's been 15.5 years or something like that since we last won a trophy. We're the only team. When I say 15.5, I mean 5 months. And I've stopped counting. Do you get where I'm coming from?
It's 16 now.
16 exactly.
They win the title, TJ. So it must be 16 years.
Yeah, cool. So we haven't lifted a trophy in a long time, and we're still buying young youth. I'm thinking young youth are going to do it.
Most of my Spurs experience, like 99% of my Spurs experience, has been under Levy's because I was born in '92, right? And I started going to Tottenham regularly in like the 2000s. So I've watched Spurs literally from Levy's day one to now. Like I was Levy in for 10 years. I'm not joking. And then from 2012, it was like Levy out. His that Zaha Nelson window was the last straw for me. So, yeah.
The problem is, I said this to you when he done the.
That is mad.
Yeah, I said this to you when he raised the ticket prices. The problem with Levy, it's all about making money. It's nothing about ambition. He's not ambitious. He don't really care. Don't take risks. If he's making money, it's all good for him. You know, it's one of them cryptocurrency guys, isn't it? Like he sees profit. Perfect. I'm winning. But he's not doing anything for Spurs itself. We're the only team in the top 5 that you say top 5 that hasn't won a trophy. And we can go even deeper. West Ham and all of these men have won trophies. You know, even Leicester in the championships won trophies. You know, so it's gotten to the point where you have to actually look at it from this perspective. He's a failure. He's been failing. It's a failure as a business. The main job was meant to be football.
Correct.
But I'm hearing they're building a hotel.
You know, after the hotel, TJ, they'll build a roller coaster. I'm just guessing.
And I'm hearing they're building the F1. They already done that. And I'm hearing they're booking in the next concert. So we're going to be in this dilemma until the main board, and I'm talking about the person all the way at the top goes. And for me, when you're running a business, look, I don't have a business, so I don't know this, innit? But when you're running a business, you have to take risks, because if you don't take risks, it's going to fold. You have to take risk. Look, Man City take risk. Arsenal, look at what they're doing. They take risk. Chelsea, although they're falling apart, they have taken risk. It's so important to take risk. If you want to be successful, you have to take risk. Put it like that.
100%.
Correct.
And look at Harry. He's going to disagree. He's going to say it's all been lovely and roses.
Problem is, TJ, we might have to wait 10 years for him to change his mind.
Brother, I don't have no time. By the time I have kids.
The worst thing about this, I've said this on a couple of streams I've been on. I got into a Twitter debate with someone. They were commenting on a tweet, and there was a debate
it's
going
not
on.
that woman I'm talking about, yeah. It's not that woman.
No. And this guy said in the last 10 years under Levy, we've done amazing. We've challenged for the title twice. Then the thing he said, we've been in several finals.
Oh, yeah.
So I said, wait a minute. I said, I wouldn't use the word several because 2 in 10 years isn't several. Then I broke it down even more. And I said, in the last 10 years, we have been in 29 cup competitions that we could win. Obviously not 30 because this year we're not in Europe. So out of 29 attempts to win a trophy, we've been to 2 finals. So we now live in a world where 2 out of 29 is several. I said to him, you look the other way, failing 27 times out of 29 is several. Several to me is 50%
the 2 under Poch, wasn't it, Brian? I'm trying to think. Yeah, 2 under Poch, isn't it? Yeah.
The Carabao Cup and the Champions League. Yeah. So they're the 2 in the last 10 years. Semi-finals, been to a good fair few. But someone's turning around to me and saying we've been to several finals in the last decade, and then you work it out 2 to 29. And this fan base, I'm like, how is 2 out of 29 in any world several?
Brother, they're blind, man. They're watching the team and they're seeing everybody cheering, and we're losing and they're cheering. Bruv, I don't understand. Look, I haven't been a fan as long as you, man. I'm the youngest on this panel.
So I heard, you know, when we lost 8-2 to Bayern Munich all those years ago. So I left at 6-2. I couldn't watch anymore. But apparently some people clapped off the players. That's what I heard.
Brother, you know what, yeah? You don't want me, Big TJ, to come to that stage in a minute. I'm glad I don't go to games, innit? And it might sound crazy, innit? But you know, I'm a reckless guy. And I speak my words. I'm straightforward, innit? If I was at the look, if we got smashed, 4? Brother, I'm jumping on the pitch, you know. I'll be banned for life, innit?
Yeah. I see some guy running on the pitch. It's you. I'm like, it's
You know, the only thing I can remember
Trust
from the
me.
Bayern Munich 7-2 is I was watching it at the Scotland Yard
Mm.
and I had a really bad cough. So I had cough syrup. And I was literally like, right, every time we let in a goal, when it got to 2 or 3, I said, I'm going to take a shot. By the time it got to 7, I downed the bottle. Mate, I was absolutely off my nut. I had to get someone had to take me home because I was delirious, absolutely delirious. I've always seen in America, they literally, or North America, gulp cough syrup down. So I thought, and I've heard that it gives you a buzz, and then I forgot there's a little bit of alcohol in it. So, literally, I downed 3/4 of a bottle of day nurse or night nurse, whatever it was, or whatever day nurse cough and cold and flu off my rocker. We went to a shopping centre across the road. I got lost. I had to get them on the tannoy to try and find me. I was off my nut that day. That's the only thing I remember of it. The only thing that was bad.
I remember leaving
the game, yeah?
I went.
No, I was gonna say, Haz, you going to the derby?
Yeah.
Why do you? Okay, you love watching your team lose, man. I see. This is why I'm not a season ticket holder, and I could never be one.
But I'm just in the sense that Stell was saying the other night, saying that he renews because eventually he's going to leave. That's the only reason I keep renewing, really, to be honest. Because if you don't renew, TJ, promise you don't renew, I'll be on like.
I know you won't get a ticket
like 5 years or something.
You won't get a ticket. I know. Listen, look, let me be honest with you. I was dabbling of getting a ticket a couple of months back in it. You know, I'm not even chatting no more. And it's not even the car we were smoking teams in it, but I would kind of like deciding, you know what, might as well jump on this thing in it because it looks like it's Mary Rose in it. You know, maybe this guy's the guy. I wasn't fully sold, but I was like, maybe this guy's the guy in it.
Is that when you had talk conversations in January saying we're going to win the league?
No, I never said we're going to win the league. I said if we get to January and we haven't, we still haven't lost, there's a possibility.
I can't remember what you said exactly. I'm just sorry. I was going to remember.
Yeah, no, listen. I got the receipts in it. I said if we get to January and we still haven't lost, there's a possibility. So I was thinking, like, let me jump on this season ticket because after this year, bro, it's going to be impossible, bro. The wait time, bro, is like 7 years. By the way, I'm genuinely serious. I believe I'm not even going to get a season ticket.
I've even said, with me being staunch as they come for Levy out, for people that have season tickets, you got to remember they work all year, hard working for this is their passion, this is their release, this is their. I'm going to the football. Some people have had it for generations and generations.
I've been a season ticket holder for 40 years, I think.
That, you know what I mean? That's the thing, and the thing I'm also with is people that are Levy out and keep their season ticket. I'd rather they did that because then there's people in that stadium that feel that way. So if the temperature needs to be, if the tension starts rising, they will stand up and shout Levy out or get out of our club, whatever. You give that ticket up, you never know if that's going to someone who's pro-Levy, doesn't care, whatever, because you saw last season has what we were doing with the balloons and the
protests and stuff.
It got to him in the stadium. It finally got to him. He even said it in the AGM that he did see it. It affected him. I agree with people that are saying people that are leaving out. Why are you spending money to go into the ground? But like I said, that season ticket, people work damn hard all year round, and with today's cost of living and how horrible the world is, going to football is their thing to say, do you know what? I've worked hard. This is my pleasure. This is my whatever. Because I remember when I was going to Spurs still and I had all my problems with debt, addiction, blah, blah, blah. Whenever you walk into that football stadium, for 90 minutes, every single problem you have in the world goes away. Everything going outside the world, you forget because you're focusing on the game. Once you step back outside, different story. There's people that grandparents gave their season ticket to the dad. The dad gives it to. It's a
Yeah,
whole
that's
big
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
It's a whole
So,
big thing. I can see Phil P, my brother in here. He goes with his dad. He goes with his kids. It's a generational.
Yeah, I go with my
thing.
dad. So, and my
Exactly.
brother, so,
There you go. When I
if
started going,
I
went
was
with
to
my
go,
dad.
I would steal my uncles, innit? You know what I'm saying? I would steal my uncles, innit? But yeah. I don't think I'm going to be entering the stadium for the next 5-6 years, and it's not just because I don't want to watch Spurs in real life. It's because where I work, it doesn't allow me to do it, innit? You know what I'm trying to say, innit?
Yeah.
So
I know.
that's another. Yeah, that's another reason why I don't have a season ticket and I don't go to games, innit? But no, believe me, like, hopefully this changes in the next 10 years, because when I don't have this job, believe me, I'll be like every Tom, Dick, and Harry.
If it hasn't
And
changed in 10 years, I can guarantee you I've moved back to England and I'm literally outside that training ground every single day. When I'm back now, I go to away games if I can get tickets. I refuse to go into that stadium until he's gone. I will not step foot in that stadium. If this was Spurs Arsenal this weekend, and whoever won the game won the league, and I got a ticket, I won't step foot in the stadium. Will not step foot in there. I refuse to go in there anymore. I walked out. I think, as you know this, I walked out. The last game I went to was the Man U 2-2.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
And literally, I went up and sat with Ben and Simeon from We Are Tottenham TV. Behind me, people were saying, "Why are you screaming, Levy out, yada, 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 yada." In front of me, a few rows, there were two people next to each other playing Candy Crush. And to the right of me, there were two people to the right of me
playing Candy Crush
that were literally talking about, there must be friends or colleagues, whatever, talking about where they're going to go on their summer holidays. And I was like, I can't do this. I cannot do this. And I was realizing I'm going to get myself into trouble. And I was like, that's
You're like me, innit? You're like me. So whenever I'm watching Spurs and they're getting punned, I just say flick off Netflix. Because I can't live and see my team.
I remember last season, I was streams up like, "Oh, how was the game, TJ?" It's like, "Oh no, on 45 minutes, I started putting on Netflix." He was telling me, I remember,
brother, listen, you know, I'm an emotional fan. I could cry. You know, listen, I'm a big guy in it, but I could cry when I see my team lose. That's how embedded Tottenham is. I was even flirting with getting a Tottenham tattoo, but this team don't fucking deserve it, bro.
No, I was thinking get one too, TJ. I'm not lying.
Yeah, but this team don't deserve it, man, because it's like we were so close to doing big things, man. We were so close, man. I thought, I thought after getting in the final, I thought it would have been roses and daisies. You know, like we would push on to be a better club. Levy would have been a better man. You know, can I be honest with you? I was Levy out before that. You know, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Out for the first time, TJ. I swear you told me this before, but
for me, so
Zaha Nelson in 2012. That was the last straw for me.
I was Levy out 2014, 13, maybe. And this was when it was a season where Pochettino, no, not even Pochettino, was before
ABB.
Yeah. It was a season when this brother could have bought, I think it was, who was it? And he chose to go for the cheap option. And I said, if you have I can't remember. It was maybe 2013, maybe. And he chose to go with a cheaper option. And I said to one of my mates, if you can't spend the money, what's the point of having this club? You have to be ambitious in order for you to thrive. And this is when United were doing their thing, and Tevez moved. It was when Tevez just moved. He moved from, what is it called, to the other place, isn't it? It was just done, innit? I was like, yeah. It was when Tevez moved, and I was like, cool. This manager's not going to do anything. If you were serious, you would buy good players. And I said, you know what? I don't want this ownership. I need something new. I've been Levy out ever since, innit? But he kind of like spun me when we went to the final. When we went to the Champions League final, and I know the season was bad, didn't it? But I said, this is the perfect way to get me back on your side if you're going to go and invest and you're going to go and try back him. And then he bought what? He did kind of buy a few players, didn't it?
Sessegnon, Lo Celso, and Ndombele.
And then Ndombele.
Was this something Clark? What was his name? I can't remember.
Jack Clark.
Jack
was the first
Clark,
one.
yeah.
But you got to remember that was after 18 months of signing no one. So
Yeah.
he had to spend. He had to in case the nice would have come out. But listen, boys, I need to go.
Yeah, no worries.
It's fine, yeah.
It was a pleasure.
We're ending anyway, bro.
Let's wrap up anyway. So yeah,
Yeah, we're gonna scrap up.
I will leave you be to wrap up. I will say big up to TJ, big up to Hotspur, big up to everyone in the chat. Come on, you Spurs. And as always, Levy out.
See you later, buddy. Man.
Yeah, see you later, bro.
See you later. Yeah, no, you know what it was, innit? It was a case of he did it. He what is it called? He spent, and then I realized, and then he sacked Pochettino.
Yeah.
And then I said, "Yo, fuck this guy, bro." I said, "Fuck him," innit? And I said, "Yo, you definitely bamboozled," and I just became Levy out. But that's when I became Levy out. And my story is a bit different because I'm a young fan, innit? Look, I would say I became a Tottenham fan, an actual religious Tottenham fan, was when I was like, 2008, 2007. Not saying I wasn't a Spurs fan before, but I didn't have the passion for it. When you're young, innit, you just like to support the best teams, innit? Let's be honest with you, innit? And there was a point of my life where I was a Real Madrid fan. There was a point of my life where I was, man, I was a Barcelona one day.
Really, really young. I really like Man United.
Bro, there's a point. Listen, brother.
And I even met their
I
even met their team, when I was really young. Yeah.
There was a point of my life when I was a Chelsea fan.
When?
I'll tell you that straight. I was a Drogba fan, innit? Like, I was a fanboy of them, bro. Listen, you know what? If I was in my old house, you would think I was a Chelsea fan. I had posters and everything, brother.
Of Drogba?
Drogba, man. He's my idol. Yeah. But this was a long time ago. So, I'm not saying, listen, I've been Spurs since I knew what football was 1970. Big up yourself, my bro. Like, and you know what as well, innit? Like, the people around me, because my family are technically all Arsenal fans, innit? Yeah. My uncle's a Spurs fan. Yeah. So technically, I only knew Arsenal, and I didn't really know too much about Spurs, innit? My uncle was a Spurs fan, but it wasn't a big deal, innit? But when I went to school, bruv, it was all Arsenal and Chelsea.
Oh, yeah.
It was all Arsenal and Chelsea. And because my family were all Arsenal fans, I was trying to move political, like, yo, I'm Chelsea, bruv. But this is like when I was in not kindergarten, primary, bro. But now I'm a Tottenham fan. Probably made the worst decision, innit?
But for me, it's like I didn't really have a choice, so I just went to Spurs games, and that was embedded in me. So
See, you were fortunate to be embedded in it. I wasn't. I didn't get that fortune. To be honest with you,
it makes your thing worse because you had a choice. I think.
I know it makes my thing worse, isn't it?
Right now, arguing about Chelsea and Tottenham in another universe.
Yeah. Another alternative universe, I would have been Chelsea.
Arguing on Hanno's channel or something about Chelsea.
But you know what? Yeah, funny enough, the same exact thing happened to my younger brother.
Really?
So my younger brother is an Arsenal fan.
Oh.
But he was a Chelsea fan though. So the same exact thing. So it's definitely when you're young. Well, in my situation, we grew up, the whole family being Arsenal. And we wanted to be political, right? So we supported Chelsea. And the same thing happened to my younger brother, my youngest, isn't it? So when he was in primary school, and you're talking about what, year 2, year 3, he was a Chelsea fan. So, generations over generation, he just chose Arsenal though, and I chose Tottenham.
That's really interesting. You know?
Yeah. Anything else that we haven't covered?
No, not really. I think
Cool.
I think that's it really. So TJ, where can we find you next?
No,
Spurs-
you can find me next Friday, on the preview show again. But
we're playing. What's it called? Oh, I've got now. We've got
sorry?
Liverpool on the Sunday.
Liverpool on a Sunday, so we're going to be back here next
You
week.
know, we
Anyway.
might be back earlier this week though, TJ, because we've got Chelsea on the Thursday.
It's Thursday coming up.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll be having it on a Wednesday.
I'm doing on Wednesday 6. I can only do 6 o'clock on the Wednesday, I think.
Cool. Wednesday. So you're going to find us on Wednesday,
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
I'm also hosting myself. I'll be hosting the post-match show on Sunday night on this channel, guys. So subscribe to this channel, subscribe to my channel. So we'll see me again on Sunday. And also, obviously, we're back Wednesday, Friday, and then, and then after that.
What do you have the people? Do you have enough people on the post? What time are you doing the post show?
I mean, Marlon said 8 o'clock now, but I told him 7.
You have enough people though?
I don't think so, but anyway, put in the chat you want to come on in it. Tell Marlon, and I think we've got space anyway. There's only 2 people that said yes, I think. So
cool. I might as well stop by.
Yeah.
Who's jumping on?
Can't remember. I saw 2 people in the chat say yes. That's all it was. I think it was 2 people.
Cool.
Yeah, but if we lose, I don't feel more people come on if we lose or less people. I don't know.
If we lose, brother, I'm coming on.
Yeah.
And we're getting cancelled. This thing is gonna get striked. You know what, chat? You might have to find a different channel to watch after I come on Sunday, because I'm gonna mash the thing. I'm gonna this, and you know what? I'm gonna come with facts. I'm gonna actually go deep into what I saw. We best not lose, even though I predicted a loss. We best not lose. We best not lose mad. Do you get where I'm coming from?
Yes, Slot is definitely going to what's it called?
Liverpool.
Yeah, definitely Liverpool.
Yeah. Would you have Slot at Tottenham?
TJ, he was the manager I wanted before we got Ange. You know, apparently I think he said no to us or something. So.
All right, cool. No worries. Big up yourself and
come on, Spurs.
Leave you out. And we'll see you on Wednesday.
Yeah, take care. All right, bye. Bye out.